bad this last time. Damn,
nah,
I did
good. Hell yeah.
What's good, y'all? It's your boy J.Brock. It's Clapitup LA. You know what I'm saying? I'm right here with the homie Niko G4. He is an artist and a rapper out of mid-city LA, y'all. He categorizes himself as a West Side player because he is always keeping it player. He has worked with Dom Kennedy, J305, Larry June, G Perico, and Corrupt, just to name a few. Do your homework, because you're going to figure out he worked with some more legendary people. Be sure to tap in and get your tickets to his next show, April 9th, live at the Brick and Mortar Music Hall in San Francisco. And oh yeah, y'all, if you have been rocking with losers, it's time for you to roll with the winners. Be sure to tap into his latest project, The Winner's Take.
Yeah.
How you doing today, buddy?
Man. Blessed to be here. Blessed to be here.
On the
man.
real, man. It's a blessing to be able to sit with you. You know, witnessing your growth. You know what I'm saying? Even since the first day we met, you such a humble person. You know what I'm saying? You couldn't even tell that you do what you do and all the things you've accomplished. So shout out to that.
Yeah.
Now we got to talk about childhood. Grew up by Roscoe's on Pico. You could see Kobe, Shaq. You would see Barack Obama shut the whole block down. Now, before Barack Obama actually got there, were y'all aware that he was coming, or was it just kind of like a thing? You woke up one day and boom, Barack Obama got everything shut? Man,
that nigga shut the whole block down. We didn't know at all. That nigga just pulled up. Like, I remember, like, it was literally like 100 fucking cops and fucking like 50 black cars. Like, dog, they shut down Pico, bro. Like, it was like people didn't even know what the fuck was going on. They literally thought like some bad shit was going on. Yeah. And then they noticed that it was Obama at Roscoe.
Oh my goodness. Did you get to step outside and even get to breathe the same air that he was breathing?
Man, I did. I tried to pass by, but they had the shit so hemmed up you couldn't even get through like the back streets to get there.
That's like, crazy. Legendary. So as y'all know, Lakers, championship after championship, you get to see Kobe, rest in peace to Kobe. Yeah. You actually went to a few Laker games. We saw you had floor seats to a Clipper game, but you a Laker fan. What's up with that?
Man, I'm a real Laker fan, bro. I literally had like season tickets for like 2013, 2014. Yeah, man, I've been over like 30, 40, 50 Laker games.
Oh my goodness. Hey man, you talking about a real fan right there.
Real talk.
Did you at least get to like see Shaq and Kobe when they were there, or was it kind of like
when I was a kid, I didn't get to see Shaq and Kobe. Yeah. Honestly, even if I probably did, I probably wouldn't have really remembered it like that. Yeah. Like, cause honestly, at that time, like I was into basketball, but like as a kid, I was running around doing shit. Like, you know, I remember the finals and people playing and Robert Horry hitting the big shots.
What was that 0.3 shot by Derek Fisher, right?
Yeah, I remember I was watching that game. Yeah. I was in high school. I was in elementary school. Man. And but the first Laker game I ever went to was when I think it was 2005 or it was 2005, and Kobe played the Phoenix Suns in the playoffs. It was a game one. It was the only game they won. Yeah. The first game they won. They lost that series, but the game I went to, they won.
They won.
Yeah,
Felt good.
Yeah, my dad got me tickets for my birthday.
Yeah.
Shout out
to Pops.
Yeah.
Okay, now let's talk about DJ Hero. Okay. You claim to be the king of DJ Hero, I guess at that time. Did you plan on being a DJ? So did you think that you wanted to be a DJ?
Hey, honestly, bro, like I really just love music. So overall, like I was into like all of the shit, like all of the games that had music in it or music involved, because it taught me a lot about like songs and shit that I didn't know. It's just like, you know, as a kid, you heard songs, but you didn't know. So when I played like, you know, shit like that, DJ Hero and shit, you would come up on certain records and be like, damn, this shit is dope. Like, you know what I'm saying? So, you know, honestly, that's why I was into it, because it just broadened my horizon on expanding my knowledge on music.
That's crazy that you say that, because when you actually play that game, it teach you how to move the certain fingers a certain way. Like, it's crazy. So you got to be tapped into DJ Hero.
Oh, God.
Now, let's talk about Wiz Khalifa, Cabin Fever. Okay, let's talk about Trey the Truth, Lil Wayne, Rick Ross, the song Incredible. I want you to think, see, back in the Cabin Fever days, it was a certain aura around the city, I could say, that was going on.
Right.
So when you think about these songs, what were some of the memories that you have when you think about them songs?
Man, Wiz Khalifa was literally like my whole like, I would say like high school like experience, like, because I grew up on all his tapes from like Flight School, you know, Star Power, you know, The Currency and Wiz How Fly tape. Like Wiz was literally, I give bro the credit, like he literally was one of the first rappers to ever like put his life out on the internet and document it and put out the day-to-days. Right. Like he made people feel like you could do this shit. Whenever I watch Wiz and I like seeing his like, you know, him recording in hotel rooms and shit, like I'm like, bro, like I want to do this shit, like, you know, and he put that battery on my back. You know, it was a lot more other, like, you know, I looked up to a lot of OGs and shit, but Wiz was one of them niggas, like, he literally showed niggas how to do this shit, you know what I'm saying, and how to express yourself and how to brand yourself with Taylor Gang. I wanted to have my own movement and certain things like that, so I definitely looked up to Wiz. You know what I'm saying? And the Cabin Fever mixtape was one of the ones to where I really knew at that point I wanted to rap.
Man, facts. Cabin Fever was hard, man. And you talk about expressing yourself. One of the people that you also, you call one of your, I guess, somebody that you looked up to was like Kurt Cobain. You felt that Kurt Cobain just didn't care about what people think. He expressed himself. So explain why you feel being able to express yourself is so important in the room that you're in.
Honestly, because that's all you got as an artist, you know, it's art, you know, so if you're not truly expressing how you feel, then how can people understand you? You know what I'm saying? So for me, I felt like all of those artists, when they got into the game early on, like I was like, damn, okay, I like how they introduced themselves, you know what I'm saying? It didn't seem like unorganic, like they came out to the game. Like even like a dude like Kurt Cobain, like bro his first mixtape was hard, bro. Like I fuck with bro shit. You know, he didn't keep it going. I don't know for what reason, but bro was talented, you know, and I like how he just put shit together. You know, there's a lot of different artists that kind of just caught my eye. I'm like, okay, this nigga cool. This nigga seems genuine. This nigga dope. You know what I'm saying? Facts. I never was really a fanatic of anybody, but like certain niggas like that, even like a nigga like Kid Cudi, like that's the first concert I ever went to was a Kid Cudi show at the Palladium in 2010 when he did Man on the Moon 2. You know
was that day and night?
No, that was the album after that.
Oh,
Man on the Moon 2 was like the next album after like his breakout album.
Gotcha.
That's when I went to the show and I was like, man, I'm really a fan now. You feel me? It kind of take me a couple tapes for me to really be a fan of anybody. You know, and go to a show. Like that was like the first, you know, rapper I ever bought a ticket, like, and I bought it off of Craigslist and shit.
Oh my goodness, he bought a ticket off Craigslist. I ain't never heard of that. I ain't never knew you could do that, but I mean, hey, the way the internet is today, I'm not surprised.
Fact.
Now, what was the vibe like when you went to that your first concert? What was something that stuck with you that day that like solidified you being a fan of goodness gracious, I forgot his name.
Kid Cudi.
Kid Cudi.
Honestly, man, it was just how he brought together like all different races. Like I remember like just going there, being a young nigga. I went with my homie and like it was like white dudes in there and shit, niggas passing his joints, and like it was like a community. Like his fan base, like everybody was like cool with each other, it seemed like. And I was like, damn, like going to some shit like this, I want to make people feel like that at my shit, you know what I'm saying? Like I want them to come out. Like some dude told me he drove like all the way from San Diego just to come see.
Dedication.
Bro. You know what I'm saying? Like it's like people are dedicated to like seeing the art, and I honestly seeing, like I said like before, like an artist express himself, because bro's one of them artists to where he puts a lot of pain in his music. You know, even on that day of the show, like that nigga brought out his girlfriend on stage and was like, I just want everybody to know, like, I want to apologize to my girlfriend because I broke her phone last night.
In front of everybody.
In front of everybody. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
And like, that nigga was just so real. Like, he didn't give a fuck. Like, it wasn't like, oh, nigga, I'm a perfect ass artist. Like, nah, like, he like even knew, like he said, you know, he said how he felt. And I was like, damn, okay, bet. Like, I fuck with that. Like, you know what I'm saying? It's no filter.
Yeah, I feel that. Now, you spoke on Wiz Khalifa recording in a hotel, right? Lil Wayne also recorded a hit song in a hotel, and that just showed me, like, it don't matter. You don't have to be in the best or the perfect setting. No. You just got to get the job done. And I feel like a lot of people feel like, oh, well, I got to have a studio, or I got to be in this type of setting. I don't want to record here. I want to record there. Yeah. What do you think, like, okay, when you think about an artist who may be, I don't want to call him, I guess, not a diva, but like kind of like, oh, I need it to be perfect. Yeah. What would you say to somebody who's like, well, I don't want to move until it's perfect?
Honestly, man, I would say you're going to hurt and waste a lot of time. You're going to hurt yourself and you're going to waste a lot of time trying to chase like that perfect moment. Yeah. You know what I'm saying? Honestly, a lot of the records that like a lot of people love was the ones sometimes I was like, nah, I don't know. I don't know. Like it's cool, but I thought this one would be better. But then they'll be like, oh, I love this one more. And it's like, damn, like I love this one. Okay, bet. You know, so honestly, when you want everything to be perfect on the as far as the vibes, but that's not, you don't have that option. You know what I'm saying? It's just with anything in life. You can go outside and want it to be sunny every day. It might be raining.
Yeah, man, that's a fact.
You know
and you still got to go to work.
You still got to go to work. You still got to get it done. So a lot of artists that move like that, I don't really think that they truly have like real passion for what they do. Because even at times when I don't want to do this shit, I know that damn, I love it. I'm still do it.
And the cool part about it is it feels better when you do it if you didn't feel like it, because you're like, I did it anyway, and I feel good about it. Man. Compared to if you don't do it, you kind of got to walk around with that thought in the back of your mind. Exactly. I didn't do it today. Now you feel like you're falling off. So stay committed, right? Yeah. So stay committed to the process. Now, let's talk about your favorite movie, Juice. What makes Juice your favorite movie? Of course, we know Bishop, rest in peace, Tupac. What makes that your favorite movie, man?
That was probably my favorite movie as a childhood.
Okay, all right. I know more.
But no. To be honest, it's up there though. I love Juice was one of them ones to where like, man, like I literally could watch it back to back to back to back. And it was really because they were kids, right? You know, figuring out life, and you seen like, this is what it showed me, is like you can't always follow everybody. Like you got to go in your own direction. Just because y'all friends don't mean that y'all gonna have the same type of mentality on certain situations. Bishop wanted to go be a thug. You know, the DJ, I forgot what, Quincy, he wanted to be a star. I want to be that, you know what I'm saying? And I had homies growing up to where you got homies gang banging. They want to do this, they want to do that. So it showed me like, bro, stick to your own shit, bro. It's like follow your own dreams, because you could be following your homies and they can get you in a situation like what happened in the movie. Facts. So a lot of the times, like Juice just taught me growing up, like, man, do you. Don't give a fuck about being tough. Don't give a fuck about all that, because honestly, it could lead. Look what it led to with Bishop, you know, dying and him like having to prove himself to everybody. Like fuck all that proving, my nigga. Just be you.
That's crazy that you took that. I don't think a lot of people. I never heard nobody break that down.
Yeah.
So that was a great lesson about the movie Juice. If you have not checked it out and looked at it from that standpoint, classic. It's all about being true to you and being an individual. Right. And like I even say that, like I was speaking to these group of kids, and I was talking about Boys in the Hood when who was it? Cuba Gooding Jr. hopped out the car because he's like, you know what? This ain't me. I'm not finna do that. Yeah. You know, you got to be strong enough to be able to go your own way. People gonna have stuff to say about you, but at the end of the day, you got peace within yourself.
Exactly.
So from Westchester to Fairfax High School, you pride yourself on being fly. Now your brother had a job at Nike Town in Santa Monica.
Yeah.
Were you able to use that to your advantage at some point?
Hell yeah, nigga. I had every Jordan, bro. I had everything, nigga. That man, look, J's was only at that time I was getting them for like $90, $100.
Oh, he was getting a deal.
Yeah, I was getting it. So when niggas, like, it was $200, so I would get two. I would get two. Yeah. And niggas would come back to school like, what the fuck? Like, how you get both? You know what I'm saying? Like,
you never told nobody though?
Man, I didn't tell nobody shit.
Oh, well, you know now.
You feel me?
Clapitup LA, baby. That's what we talking about now. Okay, now you spoke on the resale game, right? Now you came up around, you know, when you go to Fairfax, you got the diamond store, you got all those stores, right? You speak on the resale game. How do you feel about the resale game? Because like you said, a shoe can go on sale at the store for about $125.
Right.
But when you get them, when you got to get them on Flight Club or wherever you got to get them from, it's $500-$600. So you came up and actually were around. You spent some time with Nicky Diamonds.
Oh yeah, hell yeah.
Okay, so what type of game did you get from him in understanding the resale game, and did he ever share his opinion on that with you?
Honestly, like he never spoke about that in general. But even like dudes like Nicky Diamond, Bobby Hundreds, like I seen how they just like branded themselves and they did collabs. Like they did collab with Nike. They made a shoe that was literally $100 seemed like $1 million.
Facts.
So it was more so about the branding. Like the branding meant so much because I mean, honestly, shit, Nike's a brand, but they had like certain ones that were regular, and then they did a collab with a dude like Nicky Diamonds, and then these ones are just so special, right? So you gotta have different, you know, lanes in what you're doing with that shit. And honestly, the resale game and with anything you do, like even with reselling watches, like you might get you know, a nice watch from Rolex, you know what I'm saying? and there's like literally only certain people that you can get that watch from.
Facts,
you know what I'm saying?
facts,
Like,
yeah.
so, you know, once you buy a certain watch, it might go up in value just off you only having access to that.
Right,
because
right.
Rolex only sells it to certain customers. Like, yo, we got this in. You want it?
Right.
And they might be like, all right, you can buy it. Now this shit is worth, it was worth 40,000, now it's worth 70,000.
Yeah, so you can't be mad at the resale game.
You
but
can't be.
You just got to understand it. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, it's getting a little watered down because now everybody's trying to resell everything.
Yeah.
But honestly, back then, like when I was going to high school in Fairfax and shit, like, man, that shit meant. And honestly, the reseller wasn't for that much. It might be like 100 more.
Yeah.
You feel me? But now
that's
it's like,
not bad. But now you getting taxed.
You getting taxed.
On the real, you
crazy.
getting taxed. Now, see, I didn't really understand why people would stand in the line for hours upon hours.
Yeah.
But then one day my fiance was breaking it down to me. I'm like, oh, so that's why.
Yeah.
Because you can get them for $125 at the store, but if they go on resale, you got to spend $300, $400, $500.
God.
So I get that. Now, February 27, 2011, you would drop your first mixtape, Mind on a Million, at 16 years old. And you had to put this on Tumblr?
Yeah, I put it on Tumblr, man. And honestly, it was a link, like a little link that I just put it up on, and we had over like 1,000 downloads.
Oh man, he did that.
Yeah, we had like 1,000 downloads
Yeah.
in like a weekend, and I was just so happy, bro. And it was my first mixtape. It was
mixtape.
It was terrible though. It was the cover was fucking bullshit. Like it was like me standing with like a Versace shirt. Like I had a real Versace shirt on.
Yeah.
But it was like some graphic designer dude put like all these newscasters like,
oh my goodness,
like holding me, and I'm just like staring at the like screen like.
hey, but you know what? The beautiful thing about it is you can look back at where you were at that time,
right,
and be so amazed at your growth today. Because we got to talk about the growth, the transition from going from you would say from kid to grown G4. We're gonna get up into that. But I mean, you know, you gotta. It's the process. You feel me? You gotta start somewhere.
Sure.
You know what I'm saying? So. And you weren't working with Roy, because you was working with Roy at some point. You weren't working with Roy yet.
No.
Okay,
This
not
early,
yet.
way early on.
Okay, got you. All right, so we got to talk about the legendary performance at Fairfax. You went to speak to Miss Dre, to Miss Drake. Okay, and you performed Swag Wave.
Yeah.
Do you remember how that song went?
Oh man, I really don't. I really don't, bro. Like to be honest, like it was so long ago. I think the hook was like swag, wave, swag.
Kind of like that swag and we serve.
Yeah.
Okay, I got you.
I was trying to like, you know, kind of have my own chant.
Yeah,
like,
I got you. I got you.
But yeah, it was a terrible ass song. I remember though, like shout out to my nigga B-Boy. He produced the beat.
Oh, shout out B-Boy.
You know what I'm saying? And I remember like he gave me like a couple beats and shit. It was only a couple dudes that had like beats and shit. And I was just one of them dudes, man, to where I was like, I'm gonna make it work with whatever the fuck I got.
Right.
I'm gonna make the song.
Facts.
I thought it was dope at the time. Shit, I put it out, but honestly, looking back, I was like, okay, yeah, it could have been a little bit tightened up. But to be honest, at that time, there wasn't much to work with. Let alone there wasn't even that many rappers. Like there wasn't kids like how motherfuckers be walking around today like I'm a rapper. Like bro, it wasn't like that. Like to be a rapper, my nigga, you actually had to be a official rapper. Like studios wouldn't just let you come and book no studio time.
It wasn't easy
even
access.
It wasn't even access like that. I literally only could record because one of my homies
had a studio in his closet.
Had a studio in his closet.
Yeah, that's crazy. That's crazy.
Studio in his closet. My nigga, I forgot bro name. I forgot bro. He went to Fairfax with me though. Fred, my nigga Fred.
Yeah.
He had a little studio with a little closet in it, and it was like a little bullshit ass mic, and we would hold it and just recording him.
And that's crazy because you speak about, you only really got into rap because you were bored, right?
Yeah.
When you look at where you are today, it's just crazy, man. It's like crazy to see how far you've came, but you got started. And that's what matters most. Shout out my guy, Donnie Bills. He went up there to Fairfax, you know what I'm saying, doing big things. Now, May 25th, 2011, Culver City High School, KC Veggies, Nico, Monty Coolin.
Iconic.
You going on a high school tour in high school. So did you get to leave class early for this?
Oh man, shit, we left at lunch, shit.
Oh, okay, that's dope.
You know, as a senior though, like I used to leave all the time because I went to Supreme. I used to go to Supreme and buy the new shit. Right. So I went to Supreme that day. I got fly. I remember I bought the new little Supreme Vans, bought a little shirt, and we went up to the store. I had a homegirl, She drove us up there. She was the only homegirl with a car.
Oh man, yeah. Hey, having cars in high school was clutch.
Oh yeah, off top. If you had a homegirl with a car, yeah, you definitely need to keep her around. You know what I'm saying? So we all went up there. Casey CV at the time was already a well-known rapper.
Right. Shout out
you
Casey.
You know what I'm saying? And mind you, when we went up to, Culver City that day, I don't know if you know, the homie Zach that owns FTP, he gave us like shirts that day. And FTP is like big as fuck.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? I remember that day, like that nigga was so happy to give us. This was like his first graphic tees ever.
Wow, yeah.
He gave
in
it to us that day. 2011, and then we did the show. They had like a Culver City High School has like their own carnival in their little school, and they had paid us like $100 each.
Wait, so y'all ditched to do a show?
Hell yeah.
They ditched to do a show, y'all.
Yeah.
In high school.
Yeah.
Culver City, you ain't no good for that. Culver City is no good for that.
They didn't know. They didn't know.
Oh, so y'all was slick.
We was slick. We just pulled up.
Wow, that's crazy.
Now,
how did that show go? Because speaking on the Fairfax show, you said you liked the feeling.
Hell yeah.
So describe that feeling performing, because I can kind of relate in my own way how it feels to do an interview, and it's just, I don't know, the euphoria I get from that. Mm-hmm. So how would you describe the feeling of doing a show? And I mean, I know you go through that nervousness, but how long does it take you to usually shake your nervousness?
Now, like, I don't get nervous at all.
Okay.
But back then, I used to just kind of like, just think, I overthought shit. Like, man, I don't want to mumble. Mm-hmm. I don't want to do this. I don't want to miss one of my verses. Like, I don't, I've never messed up on one of my verses, but at times, like, you can kind of be off deck with the DJ. Mm-hmm. So it's all about the chemistry with the DJ and everything.
Got you.
So, but for that part, man, I honestly, it made me way easier because all of my homies was on stage. Mm-hmm. So CV was on there, my homie Monty Coolin, he was there with me. So it made the experience a lot easier because we was all on stage. And then we was all just turning up. Like, so when you see your homies there turning up with you, it's kind of different. At Fairfax, I was a little nervous because everybody was nervous.
Right.
Because at that point, that was like our first performance ever.
And then this is your school. You got to show up to school tomorrow.
Exactly. Culver City is like, I'm in and out. Give me my little honey and I'm out. You feel me?
Yeah.
But we killed that shit. It was dope. And honestly, it put even more of a battery on my back because I was like, now it's like, we real rappers.
You got to go in.
Real rappers.
So I got to ask you now, shout out to Casey Veggies. I went to Crenshaw with Casey. I think I had a class or two with him. Chopped it up with him. We wasn't super duper close, but chopped it up with him. I'm definitely looking forward to interviewing Casey, so we need to tap in.
Hell yeah.
What was the relationship like? I think you started really hanging around him probably like 2010 or something like that.
Nah,
so
honestly,
when did you guys...
it was way before that.
Okay. Yeah. So when did you guys start to link and what brought y'all together?
Honestly, it was probably my homie Dalton. My homie Dalton. I met these cats in middle school. I met them 8th grade year. How I met them, it was crazy, man. I was at the Grove, right? And I went to Emerson Middle School. And
I got a story about Emerson.
Go ahead.
So
they went to John Burroughs.
Yeah.
All the girls at John Burroughs kind of had like a little crush on me, so I kind of met them at the mall.
Yeah.
And that day, I remember like it was like, like niggas had like little chicks that they dated and talked to. I remember that night I kissed like 2 girls at the same time, and another girl.
You wildin'.
That would happen that Casey kind of like we both was talking to.
Oh man,
so they heard about this. They heard about this.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? So that was like, who the fuck is this nigga that like literally kissed so and so, and then he kissed so and so too? Like that nigga, this nigga is like on some player shit. You know what I'm saying? So I heard them niggas was kind of hating on me. Like a little bit, just did not knowing who I was, so I went up to John Burroughs. I went up there. You feel me?
Like that?
That next week, I went up there with 2 of my, like the biggest niggas from my school. I was like, we about to go up there.
Really?
So I went up there. I just checked the temperature, seen niggas, and it was love. It was love.
Yeah.
So ever since then, I exchanged contacts with my homie, one of the homies that already went there. My homie Reiner had already went there. And everybody else I just met. My homie Dalton, I met this dude named Dalton. He was like, I'm about to have this little birthday thing at a hotel.
In middle school?
In middle school.
Wildin'.
By the airport. By the airport. he had a little room. His mom got him a little room and shit, and it happened to be like Casey was there, Monty Coolin was there, the homie Chris was there, a couple other people was there. You know what I'm saying? We all had like a little sleepover at the hotel, and we was inviting chicks, and this was 8th grade.
Wow.
So I met bro in 8th grade, and that's how we met. It literally happened from that situation of like me just talking to some girls from their middle school.
Wow, and then y'all would go on to work a whole lot together.
Yeah.
Now here's my story with Emerson. Okay, we had a riot with Emerson. I went to Webster.
Oh yeah, y'all was on Arts and Emerson.
Yeah, we had a riot with Emerson, bro. I mean, Emerson must have came up there. It's funny because we in middle school planning out a riot.
Yeah.
You feel me? We at school the whole day. Yeah, we finna riot. Somebody went to Webster, transferred over to Emerson.
Yeah.
But he had an enemy at Webster still. So we finna lock niggas tripping with the whoop. And we had a riot it had to be about 40 of us, bro. Walking, what's that street? It's not Sawtelle. It's I forget, it's a main street over there, but anyway, bro, walking up and down that street rioting. Yeah. So I was wondering if you was there, but I guess you wasn't. But
nah. What year did you graduate from middle school?
I graduated high school 2011, so 2007.
Oh yeah, okay. So you was there?
Yeah. I just discovered we was basically the same age.
Sure, yeah.
So you know what I'm saying? That's crazy, man. Shout out to them days.
Yeah.
Now you graduated high school June 23rd, 2011.
Yep.
You had a performance June 25th and 26th. Shout out to Casey, Veggies, Rocket, Damo Genesis. Now, how does it feel I'm graduating and I'm automatically busy with doing what I love? You feel me, at that age?
Man, honestly, it seems so surreal, but it was honestly what I talked this shit into existence.
That's right.
Yeah. I was like, man, like right when I graduate, I'm on this rap shit. My mom talking about the school shit, go get a job, or either fucking do something. You know what I'm saying? Nigga, you ain't gonna do this rap shit. This shit ain't putting no. But I was like, man, fuck that. I gotta do this shit. This is what I love to do. This is what I really wanted to do. And honestly, like, having cats around like CV and Anwar Carrots, Josh Pease, a lot of them niggas, they already had their hand in certain things. So it wasn't that hard to kind of get involved, start asking like, yo, like, how can I get on this? And certain people just wanted to book me. They just like my swag. You know, they like how niggas was doing their own thing. We had me, Rocket, CV, we had our own like little movement called Young Nigga Movement. It was called YNM. Yeah, okay. So, you know, other than Roll with the Winners and their own shit, my own shit, we was pushing YNM, like Young Nigga Movement. Yeah. So a lot of people in the city was just fucking with that, and we were just getting like little shows, like little hole in the wall shows at little parties and like little shit, you know what I'm saying? And we get paid like $100, you know,
hey, that's something.
Yeah, he was happy. I was happy as fuck.
Especially in high school.
Oh yeah, off top. And that's what I'm saying. That potentially led to even just the next step and just getting bigger and bigger and just meeting more people, you know what I'm saying?
That's right. Yeah, no, shout out to that, starting off in high school like that. Now, you were going on vacation in July, Miami, the Bahamas, Atlantis. You said this was life-changing.
Life-changing.
What was life-changing? Because this wasn't your first time traveling, because I seen you were in New York, you know what I'm saying, also as well. Right. So what was life-changing about this particular vacation?
Honestly, bro, it was because my cousin was Miss Teen USA, right?
Wow.
So they held the pageant there. So she's handing off the crown. So her whole family's being treated like, including me, we being treated like royalty in that motherfucker. I'm 18, I have my own suite.
Yeah,
nigga.
wow.
They gave me a card, like a little card, like I could run it up with. Yeah. I could do anything.
What?
Like, nigga, unlimited drinks, like, that's nigga, crazy. Do anything. Like, and over there, you got to be 18 to drink. Okay. So, nigga, I was literally living like I was already rich, bro. Yeah. And I just graduated, like my swag, you know, a nigga had Pradas on, like I was just on the beach, like chilling, like just doing my thing, wearing Bape and shit. Yeah. And honestly, like it seemed like I already was living the rapper life. Like, I remember like they had a club in there. I ordered like a little bottle. I had some chicks with me. I popped I smacked a couple chicks there. I lived like a real fucking rock star weekend. I was like, oh shit, I'm a rapper, bro. No, fuck this. I'm coming back.
You got a taste of it.
I got a taste of it, and I was like, ain't no looking back. Like this is the good life. I don't want to do nothing else.
Okay, now speaking of products, is this where you would spill the champagne on your products?
Exactly.
That's where you spill the champagne on your products.
That's where the whole idea came from.
Okay, got you. Got you. That's crazy. And then also, if you don't know this, he is an electronic music fan, a house fan. So you already know spilling champagne on my products was actually a piece of that. Yeah. Okay, cool. Yeah. Now you would open for Casey Veggies at the Roxy March 10th, 2012. And this was this the G4 tape tour?
Nah, this was bro's first headlining show.
Okay, got you.
First headlining show for that for the album Sleeping in Class.
Yeah. Now, Sleeping in Class is a classic. If you have not tapped into that, make sure you tap into that. Now, what was that feeling like being able to open for him? And I want to ask you something now. You know, as you get bigger and bigger, the crowd begins to know who you are. The crowd wants to interact more. So, did you ever go through a point where the crowd wasn't necessarily rocking with you because they didn't necessarily know who you were?
Oh, of course. Plenty times, man. I mean, and it's not that they not rocking with you. It's just that they just watching. They listening.
Yeah.
You know, like
better terms.
Yeah. They like like the thing is, you know, when people ain't rocking with you because they kind of are like getting like a little like restless. When they just there like looking, you know, and they making noise after the song, like even if it's a little noise, like they listening, bro. Like the thing is just nobody wants to fuck with you until it's popular to fuck with you.
That's right.
You know what I'm saying? So as an artist, you got that ultimate, I always had that ultimate confidence where I get on stage, I'm gonna talk my shit, do my shit. So even when they didn't know me, I just made sure that I let them know who I was. And they left there like, oh, I fuck with that kid. You know what I'm saying? So that show was one of the moments to where like they didn't really, a couple people of them, like probably like 20 people, but the Roxy was big. You know, it was like over 300, 400 people in there.
Roxy.
So you know what I'm saying? So it definitely was packed out, and I knew that I left with a good impact on the people.
That's
and
right.
I could see even like my fan base kind of just building into like, all right, who is Niko G4? Like,
that's right.
You know what I'm saying? So it was a great moment, and shout out to my homie Casey for that, man.
Yeah, shout out to Casey. Now, one thing I noticed about the Roxy is you have to go through the Roxy when you coming up in the music game in LA. You got to go to, it ain't no way you skip past the Roxy. The Roxy is a destination for everybody. So when you make it there, that's just like a good check mark, a destination that you fulfill.
Right.
Now, 2012, you know what I'm saying, this is where we will begin to get involved with OPM, opening for Polyester Saint, which led to Archie Davis, who was Dom Kennedy's manager, growing interest in you. And you would link with Dom, and the first song that you guys would make is PG Click, okay? And you would actually find out that you made the Yellow album through a tweet. Now, something I gotta say about PG Click is kind of like the Will Smith Summertime. It's like a song, I mean, when you hear that song, it just puts you in that mood. You with beautiful women, you got the drink, you got the smoke, y'all on the beach, it's a beautiful sunny day. PG Click is one amazing song. So, when you first heard PG Click, I heard you were actually just kind of riding around with the homies and thinking like, this ain't about to be nothing. But you go up in there and you make PG Click. How did you feel, you know, when you first heard the song? How did you feel when you first heard that?
Man, bro, it felt fucking like incredible, because honestly, man, it just felt like this shit was actually like the hard work was paying off. You know, as an artist, man, you want to see like the work that you putting in actually leading to something.
That's right.
And Dom at that time, man, he was like one of the, if not the biggest artist in the city. Like he was even bigger than Kendrick at a point in time. Like so at that time, like bro was really big. Like when I Come Around was out, Platinum Chanel was huge. Like I remember just being a kid on the school bus listening to bro shit. You know what I'm saying? So when he took notice and I actually seen that I was a part of that, actually the following year after I was just on the bus listening to bro shit, it was like one of the moments to where I'm like, damn, I am meant to do this shit. And if a nigga like bro fuck with me, then honestly, like he don't fuck with a lot of people. So it makes sense, you know what I'm saying? So for me, just hearing the song and actually, like you said, like seeing the tweet come out and all of that shit, I was like, yeah, all right, bet.
It's official.
It's official.
Yeah, and the crazy part is, you said that you would actually run into Dom on Fairfax when it wasn't really nothing there, but you would run into him on Fairfax.
All the time.
Now, coming from running into this dude on Fairfax to actually being able to sit in the same room with him, you know what I'm saying? What was that feeling like for you to really connect with Dom?
Man, it was great, because honestly, at first, I was nervous, you know? Like, I was nervous just because I didn't want to fuck up and do the wrong thing. Just being a young nigga, you know what I'm saying? I didn't want to, like, you know, like, this nigga already had his hand full in the game. Like, he was even telling me, like, yeah, I'm, you know, shit, niggas trying to sign me, da-da-da-da-da. I'm trying to figure out what I want to do. So I really was just sitting there, like, I would just be quiet. I would just sit there and observe. I would just soak up game like a sponge and really just, you know, not say too much, because really, I wanted to hear everything that was being said.
That's right.
You know what I'm saying? From a cat like Dom Kennedy, like, you know, he runs his shit a certain way. He don't just do what everybody does. Like, he goes out of his way to make sure that I'm gonna do it my way for my fans, because I know what they want, and I'm gonna always deliver that. You know, he doesn't just do what the industry want him to do. So in that moment, I knew, like, man, like, fuck all the talking, fuck all the bragging. Like I ain't just here with the homies on the block. I'm here with a nigga that potentially I want to be on his level, if not bigger. So I gotta sit back and learn. You know what I'm saying?
True, true. Now speaking about, you know, the company that you keep, that's a big thing.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? Dom Kennedy is a winner. And like he said, it's about roll with the winners.
Exactly.
You know what I'm saying? You gotta roll with the winners if you want to be a winner.
Exactly.
Now you would drop Roll the Dice one. Shout out to Roy. This is when you're working with Roy.
This is right when I
and
met
you're
Roy.
and you're recording in his house.
Yeah.
Right?
Culver
Now now MTV reaches out to premiere the shopping video and you get an interview with Sway. Okay, now Sway. Okay, Sway.
Yeah.
Like the real, you know what I'm
real
saying?
Sway.
The real Sway, you know what I'm saying? How Sway, for real, you know, the MTV News Sway, you know what I'm saying? So when you get, I mean, I can't imagine Sway. You know what I'm saying? I could imagine you growing up watching Sway. So when you get to actually talk to Sway, what, you know what, actually I wanted to ask you, what was some game Dom Kennedy gave you in the beginning that you remember that was something that was very pivotal to your career?
Man, it was really just be yourself.
Okay.
You know, he told me like you can't fail if you just are unapologetically yourself. You know what I'm saying? Don't try to cut corners either. Like don't cut no corners on the process. Like I remember like this was a big thing he used to tell me because I used to mix without my stems. Like I don't know if you understand when you get stems for the beat. Okay. Like so you get stems for the beat to mix the beat. You know what I'm saying? But some people like to mix the 2-track. Which is 2-track is just the MP3 or the WAV file. The stems is like you gotta build the beat up to where like you know how you get the MP3 a sound it might be slapping. The stems is like with nothing, it's from scratch. So you know it's the beat just basically without like it being pushed up to a certain EQ sound. So you gotta take time and you gotta build that and mix that shit with an engineer. So that's why what engineers do, they mix the song with the stems. You can mix it without it, but you got to mix it with it if you're a real professional. You can hear the professionalism because you can either switch up the beat, you could do all type of shit, you could dig deeper into the music. So I remember I used to just not mix with the stems, and he used to tell me like, bro, like, you know, nigga, make sure you mixing this shit right, make sure you do this, you know, do that. So I used to take them little notes and be like, damn, man, that shit taking more time. But then overall, you see the people actually appreciate the shit. Like they like, damn, this is a real body of work. This nigga really actually is musically inclined with the shit. It ain't like just like a little, you know, where anybody could just put the shit out and it's MP3 or whatever, a little 2-track. It's like niggas is actually taking time, understanding the music and understanding the feeling. You know what I'm saying? So that's the main thing like bro really taught me, just take my time, there ain't no rush. Like the more that you think that you gonna get there faster is the literally you might have to take another detour because you might get there and it might not be what you wanted. You feel me?
Structure ain't there.
So you gotta reprocess that and then get back again, which you could just literally take your time and actually be where you want to be.
Right.
You know what I'm saying?
So it's kind of like, I don't know why I thought about this, but it's kind of like when you season a chicken and let it marinate compared to you just season the chicken and cooking it.
Exactly.
You get a totally different taste. It's a whole new appreciation.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? Things like that. But patience is also a part of your whole situation.
Exactly.
Now we got to take it back to Sway because I wanted to ask that question. I forgot it. But we got to take it back to Sway, meeting Sway, being on MTV. Of course, that was a big moment for you, but you said this also taught you something about the business side of the music industry.
Right.
So what was one of those lessons, but how legendary was it for you to meet Sway?
Man, it was legendary, bro. I remember when I got the call from MTV, I literally didn't even believe. I'm like, nigga, I'm like, bro, this some bullshit. You know what I'm saying? I'm like, MTV? I'm like, what the, like, how y'all even see me? You know what I'm saying? So they seen the video, because at that time, like I said, bro, it wasn't that many rappers, man. Right. And to be honestly, how we did this shit, the homie Calmatic, who honestly is a great director, and he shot a lot of the most cracker shit out right now. And he did like the Old Town Road video. He's you know, he had his hand in so much shit. He shot the shopping video. So, you know, even just having those elements to what I was doing, that being like my first video, a lot of people reached out. And when I got on the shit with Sway, man, it would just felt like, damn, like man, this is something that, like you said, as a child, I seen so many people being interviewed. It just felt so surreal for me because it literally was something that I spoke in existence. I'm like, man, I'm gonna be on BET, I'm gonna be on MTV. I remember having this conversation with my dogs right when we graduated. I'm like, I'm gonna be on MTV Jams, nigga. Like, I swear to God, like my first shit, and then the first video made it on MTV Jams. So just understanding that and just the branding side of it just showed me how to like literally you know, like we'll roll with the winners. Shopping was like the identity of what it was to roll with the winners.
That's right.
Like, brand yourself as the fly niggas, the cool niggas. Like, you know what I'm saying? What it is to be an LA artist growing up in the city wearing bait, wearing, you know, like the fly kicks, wearing shit like that, and not being a tough nigga. That's why at the end of the video, we had like a tribute to all the gangs, like stop gang violence. Because I was trying to bring a different side out of the city. Everything was so tough. Everything was this, everything was that. I'm trying to bring the young niggas to understand, like, my nigga, like, we could get a lot further doing this fly shit. So from day one, that was my whole ideology on how I seen the game. I didn't want to introduce myself as, oh, this tough nigga, da-da-da-da. I wanted niggas to get bitches. I wanted fly girls to be on my show. I didn't want it to be burnt out.
That's
you know what I'm saying?
I feel that because, you know, especially today, it's all about being fly. It's all about being tied to a gang. I mean, if that's you, that's you. I mean, you know, but it's just kind of like, okay, we need something else. Because honestly, the streets do nothing but hurt us.
Nothing.
It hurt us.
Nothing. And negativity is just like the only thing that they pinpoint when it should be way more. Niggas doing shit for the community, they don't pinpoint that.
Right.
And it's other artists that's a part of gangs that do shit, good shit, they don't pinpoint that.
Facts.
It's only when they do wrong. So that's really what I was trying to bring, is like a different feel to the game and just colliding, you know, I got homies that's from Bloods, I got homies that's from Crips. Like, man, like, let's shout them all out, not just one hood. You know what I'm saying?
It's a beautiful thing when everybody is able to come together and it's not on no bull crap. So shout out to that. Now the G4 tour with Casey Veggies would take off in 2014. How was that tour with Casey Veggies? How long did y'all actually go on tour for?
Man, honestly, we did just West Coast leg of shows. Like I think it was about like 5 or 6 shows. Okay. But it was major for us because at that time, like, we was young kids, like, and we was doing this shit on our own. And CV was cracking, and I was cracking, so we just brought the shit together. Bro was just like, man, you want to do these shows? Like, and I was like, hell yeah, like, nigga, let's do it. Let's put this shit together. So we did just basically like San Diego, Santa Ana, Santa Barbara, you know, like all of the West Coast shit. So just putting that shit together, and we were only what, like 21, 22, doing this shit on our own, like independent. You know, I think bro had a deal, but I was independent, and man, that shit just felt like, it felt crazy because, like I said, we were just kids having sleepovers, and then now we doing this.
Right, and full circle. You know, and that's another thing about life. Things go full circle all the time, and you'll be surprised who you end up working with. So when you think about, what was the differences that you noticed with him being signed and you being independent? Were there any differences that you would notice?
I mean, I just, like, on his approach to where, like, literally, like, you know, how he had to roll out his albums. You know, I didn't have to ask nobody for, like, no permission or getting things done. His formula switched up because of that. You know, when he signed to Epic, he had, you know, now you got he signed to Rock Nation for management as well. He had like a lot of different people just, you know, kind of like speaking for him and doing different things, to where I was still speaking for myself. I had a team, but it wasn't like that. Exactly. Like, niggas got like CEOs and people like, you know, like really stepping in, which was dope. And honestly, that taught me a lot about the game too, because really I understood how the label was working, which I wanted to before I actually even ever did a deal with them. You know what I'm saying?
So you were able to see both sides.
I got to see like how, you know, his situation worked out, and how, you know, they were moving him around, and what, you know, he liked and what he didn't like. You know what I'm saying? So at the end of the day, like, that was a big thing for me, because Don was independent too. So we didn't have that like knowledge on like how the industry was, other than like the homie Archie Davis, who worked at Interscope at that time. And you know, he was even walking us through a lot of the steps as far as like how the industry works, and, you know, shit, you got to get shit cleared, and you got to do certain shit. You know what I'm saying? It ain't just like, Nico, like, this is a business now. Like, you can't just think about having fun and just throwing some shit out on SoundCloud, or just throwing the shit out for free. Now it's like, where's the money being generated? How are we gonna push this shit, and what's next?
Okay, got you.
You know, because the question is always, what's next?
What's next?
What you did last year don't matter.
Don't matter at all.
Don't matter. You know what I'm saying?
And that's one thing too. Like a moment is just that. It's a moment.
It's a moment.
You got to work for the next moment.
Exactly.
You feel me? You can't be cool because you got one moment. You can't ride that forever.
Exactly.
It's always time for another moment. Now, 2016, you would drop the Worth the Risk project. 2017, you would drop Roll the Dice 2. Then you had a 2-year gap, which you would consider transitioning from kid to grown G4. And you could even tell by the covers, because on Worth the Risk cover, you got on some Chucks at a cemetery and an open button up. Roll the Dice 2, you got no shirts, some Chucks on. And then when it came to, come on. When it came to Player Forever, you got a suit on, right? You got a suit on, you got like a wine glass in your hand, looking real professional. And then we get the braids. We start to see the braids. So I gotta ask you, what's going on with the braids? I noticed that when I first saw you, but where did you get that? You know, is it purposely a braid, or was it something that you just kind of?
No, it was just something that like.
This is iconic. It's really iconic.
My hair is like, you know, I'm mixed with Jamaican and Nicaraguan, so you know, a lot of the times like my hair is just like it's curly as fuck. So like one day I remember like my barber was just like cutting me up, and he was like, "You want to trim this shit? You want to what you want to do?" And I was like, "Nah, just keep letting it grow." I was like, "But cut down everything else." And I was like, he was like, "Nigga, you ain't never did no shit like that." And I was like, exactly. Different. I was like, I'm about to do my own, nigga, this is my own haircut. Right. I was like, for me to be me, I gotta have my own signature haircut. And I be even seeing my fans, and motherfuckers be growing they shit out.
I mean, when you think about it, I mean, what's the guy, Bobby Brown? Is that the singer? He did his own thing. Everybody does something with the haircut, and you were able to actually do that. So shout out to that, because like I said, we started seeing that when Player Forever came out, a part of going from being a kid to grown G4. For sure. So with the Player Forever, you said you found your sound with that. So within those 2 years, what were you doing in order to get closer to finding your sound?
Man, honestly, bro, I was going through it with a lot of I was falling out with a lot of friends. I was falling out with just a lot of people, man. I spent those 2 years really by myself, just figuring out a lot of shit. I was going through like, you know, even just certain family shit, you know what I'm saying? And I really just had to step back for a little bit. I think a lot of people don't truly understand, bro. It's like, you know, you can have that breakout moment. Like we said, we got moments to where you just cracking, but I wanted the longevity of it. You know, I didn't want to just be like, oh, the nigga that was known as a kid. So I'm like, you know what, hold on, let me step back. Let me get into a different bag. That's right. Because these niggas only remember me as this type of nigga. And I'm not that nigga no more. You know what I'm saying? So like to literally, I felt like the only way to reapproach it was to take a little bit of time off. You know what I'm saying? And just get my mind right and just honestly understand what I wanted to bring to the game. That was different that I already brought. So I was like, you know what? Let me get in my grown man bag. Let me go get some tailored suits. Let me get upscale a little bit. Let me get with some real producers, some real people around me that I know really care about the craft. And let's put together like a real project that really is meaningful, that people can live by on a day to day. And that's what the mentality of Player Forever is. It's like, it's a player for life. Like, nigga, it's not just, you know, what we, you know, a nigga trying to go into a party, I'm a player in this instance, but nah, we a player in every instance. That's, you know what I'm saying? And like I said on the album, it ain't just about playing women. You got to be a real player when it comes down to breaking down business. Real player when it comes to just anything that has to do with you just verbalizing who you are as an individual.
That's beautiful that you broke that down like that, because when people think about being a player, they think it's just about playing women. But you got to know how to play the game at life. Everybody's a player at life. Right. You feel what I'm saying? You control your, I mean, to be honest with you, you control your destiny. If you want to go there, you going to go there. If you don't, you don't. It's all about your determination and your work ethic. Straight like that. Now, 2017, you actually made over 200 records. Are we gonna get to see that?
Ah, man, I don't know. Okay. It was just one of them years to where I was just like, man, like I need to record like every day. And it was really just sharpening my sword. Like, to be honest, it was just one of them ones to where like, nigga, I'm not recording to push it out. I'm just recording to sharpen my sword. Let me get even deeper into what I truly want to talk about. That's why a lot of the albums like that I put out, like Player Forever, Winner's Tape, I'm getting more personal, talking about certain situations, getting a little bit more, you know, like just letting my fans relate to my process, telling them like, you know, it's not just about being a player. It's other songs on there that like open up about my true meaning and my identity. You know, how I got to where I'm at. You know what I'm saying? So I kind of felt like it was just a bigger brand than just thinking about, oh, like, you know, nigga, I'm macking on bitches, I'm this, I'm that. But like, how can I get my fans, because not all my fans is on that type of time. They might be a family man. How can he just understand it without him feeling like not a part of it? So that's the thing, is like I was just breaking it down in different instances.
I got you. No, and see, that's also a part of just fine tuning yourself.
Yeah.
Sometimes you got to do that. You know, sometimes you just got to go to work and nobody else gonna see it.
Yeah.
You feel me? But you went to work, and because you did that, when it's time to pay up, it's gonna show. You know what I'm saying? Like I said, only time will tell who really been working like they say they've been working, and that's a guarantee. 2019, Young Nation Volume 2. Dom says, I snatched G4 up last spring. I told him I need you to be a pivotal part in this, so I need you to step up.
Yeah.
So do you remember what that, you know, what making that was, and getting that call, and actually what did you feel like when he was telling you, like, come on, I need you to be a big part of this?
I mean, that was a big thing for me. That's why even leading up now, you know, them 2 albums after that, because I took shit differently. I took more of a personal, because he was looking at to me like, you know, what he told me was, nigga, I'm not gonna be in this game forever, bro. Like, you know, my time is coming to, you know, it's really in the next 10 years. Like, his time is literally going, you know, probably be, you know, to a certain point to where he gonna still be doing shows, but bro not gonna care about putting out albums. Like, you know, he gonna be raising his son and doing different things, being here.
As he should.
So, you know, at the end of the day, he told me, like, nigga, it's your time. Like, nigga, like, you the future of this shit. Like, what are you gonna do? You gonna let another nigga step up, or you gonna be the nigga to step up? So in that moment when he told me that, I took it personal. I took it personal to where I'm like, you know what? Fuck all this playing around, fuck all this, you know, fucking with bitches, just trying to invite bitches to the studio. I don't want nobody in the studio.
That's right.
I just want the engineer, me, my producer, no distractions. Like, we gon', and this how we moving from now on. You know, cause a nigga will come in the studio, I have bitches pull up, you know, nigga be smoking, you be in a fucking 10-hour studio, you only get 1 record in. Like,
bull crap.
What we doing? You know what I'm saying? It's 10 hours. Like, how we only get 1 record in? Cause the other couple hours we was fucking around, smoking, you know, we talking, doing nothing. So in that moment, I just felt like it was like more so like he wanted me to just, you know, take that initiative to be like, all right, now when bro stepped down, I could step up. You know what I'm saying? Cause in that moment, I could feel that energy from him. Like, you know, he like, man, nigga, I want to ride the back seat while you drive, nigga. You know what I'm saying? So, you know, that's how I took it. And you know, when we did Young Nation Volume 2, I just took it more personal and just, you know, being in the studio all the time with bro. You know what I'm saying? Making sure that I had an impact on it, and making sure, regardless, whether if I had to rap, I had to sing, I was doing everything. That's why on Young Nation 2.
The homie said he was singing, y'all.
All that
Hey,
shit.
Niko.
You feel me? Like,
That's right.
melodies, I was like, yeah, we doing all this shit.
Yeah,
You know what I'm saying?
You can't be cool about it.
You can't be.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? And that's why even certain people that were like, it's different, but I fuck with it.
I'm
You know what
hungry.
saying?
I'm hungry. When you hungry, ain't nothing you won't do.
Exactly.
You know what I'm saying?
You know?
Ain't nothing that you won't go through.
Right. And that's why, like, a certain song like Swerving, like, I'm on the hook, like, kind of like, you know, singing a little bit. It's like a little different G4. But at the end of the day, I just felt like I can't always just be on the same type of time and, you know, introduce this to bro. Like, I'm going to introduce different records, and he'll be like, oh, no, this hard. Let me get on this one. Let me get on this one.
Right.
So that's what it was. It's like, I didn't want him to be just 2 niggas just rapping. Like, 1 record, I'm gonna sing, nigga, you rap.
Right.
You feel me?
Yeah.
So I just wanted to make it a little different and still have it cohesive.
Yeah. Well, versatility is the key to longevity.
Exactly.
You know what I'm saying? When you know how to tap into multiple bags, that'll always, because you can keep up.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? Because music changes.
Right.
Everything changes. But if you can change with it, you can stick around.
Period.
Now, being around Dom Kennedy J305, what are some of the differences that you would notice between like the mid city and the Crenshaw district? Because you got to experience that firsthand.
Man, honestly, the big difference is just more so like just how niggas probably like carry themselves. You know, I see South Central niggas is, you know, they a little bit more like trying to, you know, like, you know, act a little tough and shit. And I think West Side niggas, we just cool, we calm, we collected. Like, we'll get active, but we chilling.
That's right.
Like, it's just a different flow. And South Central, they just always have a big chip on their shoulder. You know, it's so much violence happening on a day-to-day. You know what I'm saying? There's so many different hoods. You got to really be careful, watch where you at. You know, you could be in one hood and the next hood in those times. You know what I'm saying? So the West Side is a little bit more spread out. You know, it's a little bit more chill, and everybody just, you know, honestly, mind their own business.
That's right.
You know, and South Central is some niggas that just go outside looking for trouble. You know,
yeah.
every day. And you know, but you know, as far as them 2 individuals like Dom and Cinco, Cinco a real, you know, he an active nigga, but he a real smooth nigga too. So one thing it showed me is this, that you know, you can have 2 sides to you, but always keep the aesthetic, you know, to keep it player. You know what I'm saying? And them niggas always kept it player. They never just stepped out of bounds and did shit that if they didn't have to. You know what I'm saying? So, you know, the big difference between the West Side and South Central is really just, I would say, just like mentality on just how you carry yourself. You know what I'm saying? But I respect, you know, everybody in South Central, because I grew up a little bit of my life in South Central too. But you know, I'm primarily a West Side nigga.
That's right.
And everybody respect me as a West Side nigga because they know I don't want to be a South Central nigga. I take pride in really being a West Side nigga. So they like, oh, okay, I fuck with bro. Like, you know what I'm saying?
Yeah, you gotta stay true to you.
Exactly.
At the end of the day.
You know, because the niggas, it's certain niggas that be lying like, oh yeah, nigga, I'm from South Central too. And it's like, nigga, no, you not. You know what I'm saying? Like, nigga, you didn't grow up over there. You know what I'm saying? So the beautiful thing for me was, nigga, I went to Westchester and I went to Fairfax. So I knew niggas from the East Side, knew niggas from Compton, niggas from South Central, Inglewood. I knew niggas from all over, just all over the place. Westchester, and then I went to Fairfax, which I already knew everybody on the West Side.
And back then, Westchester, I know they still kind of like that, but back then, Westchester was extremely popular. Like it was the flyest of the flyest. The basketball team was going up, killed their football team. They ran up on Crenshaw and got smacked. They did pretty decent one year. We smashed them up, went to the state game on that, but you know what I'm saying? Shout out to them schools, man. Now, rest in peace to the great Nipsey Hussle. Have you ever been in a studio session with Dom Kennedy and Nipsey Hussle?
Not with both of them, but I've been in the studio session with Nip.
Okay. Yeah, and what is something that you remember about his work ethic in the studio?
That bro literally just, you know, he's a master of the craft. Like he don't cut corners on just like the process. Like that nigga sit there, he'll be in the booth saying it over and over. He'll be in the booth and he'll be like, nah, I don't like that. Let's do it again. Let's do it again. So that showed me too, like nigga, like even if you thought the shit was perfect, like if it's one thing, like hold on, let me go see if I can make that even better. Nip is that type of nigga to where he ain't just gonna just sit there and bullshit and waste no time. Like bro wanna get shit done and he'll get up out of there. You know what I'm saying? And I like how he do his shit because bro really is real. He's real honest with the music. That's right. You know, it's not one thing that he gonna get in there and just be like, oh yeah, this beat is hard. The beat could be hard, but he like, I don't know, that ain't for me though. I'm gonna go on this other one. You know what I'm saying? Yeah. So, you know, that's one thing I seen is like how he selects his beats, how he like, you know, puts his shit together. That's why all his albums sound a certain way. Like he could, you know, it's a lot of West Coast sounding beats. He ain't gonna hop on like some funk, G-funk type of beat though.
It's not him.
He got his own type of shit. You know what I'm saying? So that's one thing I truly got from bro is like, you know, be selective and, you know, stay true to your own sound.
That's right, and there ain't nothing wrong with that. Now, one of the things you said, that antisocial shit can only work for so long. Now, you know, especially when you hear people get up to these levels and they feel like, oh, I ain't never got to talk to you. Like, I'm you beneath me, you know, things like that. So when did you realize that that was something that really wasn't cool?
Honestly, it was just being around like artists in the industry, like, you know, industry plants, I call them, you know what I'm saying? In scenarios, they ain't really know how to, you know, really move. They don't know how to talk. You know, they too used to having a manager, A&R, certain niggas moving for them. And then it's like, my nigga, what happens when you really outside with some real niggas? Who you gonna call? Your A&R, your managers? How you gonna really tap in? And money don't always fix that situation. If anything, it put a bigger bullseye on your back. You know what I'm saying? So a lot of the times I said that antisocial shit don't work because a lot of niggas don't truly understand, like, bro, like, where you from really is who you are and really what you promoting as in your art. You know what I'm saying? So you not being outside talking to the locals, you know, you ain't got to do that all the time, but you got to literally express yourself and even tell them why they should be even behind you. You know, so that antisocial shit can't work for so long. You got to be outside. It don't matter how big. Yo, Gotti still go to his hood and shoot a video. You know what I'm saying? Certain niggas still go back to their community, get back. You can't be just, you know, out the loop. You know what I'm saying? And I seen a couple artists recently, you know, like they want to say, you know, whatever, that they the biggest in the city or whatever, and then they do an industry ass album and it don't go platinum, you know, or don't hit like they want. It's because you ain't tapped in with certain niggas in the city. If you had certain motherfuckers a part of shit, the city would have been behind it, and nigga, you would have probably even been more cracky. You can't consider yourself the face of the city if you're not included in the city. You know, the same thing, like that's why Kendrick is so big, bro. You know, because all his albums, you can hear LA in that shit, regardless.
Facts every time.
Regardless.
And he's still doing him, but he never leaves that out.
Regardless.
I feel that.
You know what I'm saying? And there's so many artists and instrumentations, musicians that he includes as from the city. They might not be known on the mainstream level as far as like, oh, they not Rick Rubin, but or this guy, but they still like Terrence Martin. He bringing them in. you know, Terrence Martin from the city, from Crenshaw district.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? A lot of people know, bro, but he not known on a, you know, global basis to where it's like, damn, that's Terrence Martin. You know what I'm saying? Certain people. So, you know, you gotta just honestly, you know, fuck with the people that it makes sense, but don't stay out the loop and don't, you know, really go to that corner of that industry. They don't got love for you. You know, when you having a bad day, you can't go to the CEO of the company house and sit down and eat with his family.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? So don't stay out the loop with the niggas that really really didn't put in that work with you and dug deep with you.
Man,
you know
that was a great answer.
Yeah.
You got to make sure that you stay tapped in with your people. And I never looked at it like that. Like I always got somebody speaking for me. I don't know how to talk no more.
God.
That's crazy because it's a muscle, just like anything else. Communication is a muscle like anything else. So you better understand that. Now, building relationships with producers as well as engineers. Shout out to Uno out of New York, Roy, and all the others. Now, let's talk about Mixed by Crook, the engineer. Shout out my boy Mixed by Crook. He is doing big things and he's only getting bigger.
Yes, sir.
Which he would do roll with the winners for you. And you said y'all would do 8 to 10 versions of each song.
Yeah.
My goodness, talk about being locked in, man.
Oh man, bro, and shit, it was killing my motherfucking budget because I was paying for all that shit. But honestly, I'm just a master of my craft, man. And you know, a lot of his mixes sound great right away, but you know, I would get pointers from other people. I would have Dom come in. I would have another artist come in, you know, that really had that ear. Don would be like, yeah, put that CLA on it, Like, we gotta touch up this vocal, touch up that. So, you know what I'm saying? Like, when you think you done, that's when you gotta go play it for some professionals.
Man.
Get that, like, just like how Nip, I was just watching an interview, he was saying that how he played rap niggas for Diddy.
And Diddy made him change it up.
No, exactly. He was like, nah, nigga, you need it to sound like this.
Yeah, and he said he was kind of hot for a minute.
Exactly. and I'd be hot too. Because you work so many hours and you like, fuck, like, hold on, nigga, like, what you mean? You know, but really, nah, they hear it differently. They see it bigger.
Right.
And that's why you gotta go to them certain people. You know what I'm saying? You can never, and that's what I mean, it's like you gotta reach out. You can't be antisocial because you gotta reach out to individuals to understand the craft fully. Them niggas been doing this shit. Certain niggas that's been doing it, you gotta get their ear and respect it. Sometimes niggas could just be saying anything. You know, you know when somebody's saying anything. Right. You know when somebody's saying shit because you know you can push it to that next level. So I go and play it for the people that I know, like, all right, this nigga know we can push it. Like, we might be 5 inches, but nigga, let's put, if 5 inches more we push it, it might be exactly where we want it to be. You know what I'm saying? We might be exactly at that finish line. We might be like a mile away. Let's push it a little bit more.
But even if you're a mile away, it's worth it when you fix it. It's so much more worth it. And it's crazy because, you know, a lot of the time you get into this work, man, and if you close-minded, it's the worst thing ever because you can put out some bull crap. But because you were able to take that constructive criticism, people are afraid of the criticism. I don't want to be told no, or I'm so sensitive about my work, which is cool, but at the same time, like he said, you got to be tapped in with the right people. You know what I'm saying? So you can fix it. Now, to be a winner, you gotta go through them losses, right? You credit roll with the winners coming from your losses, coming from the lessons that you learned. Now, a lot of people are afraid to lose. A lot of people are afraid to admit that they have lost or that they have failed, but I don't get that because it's a part of life. How do we grow if we don't lose or we don't fail? You know what I'm saying? So, when you make roll with the winners and then honestly basing it off your losses, what are some of the things that you were able to put into this project to make sure like that you represented? I've been here, I've failed, I've lost, I've came back. You know what I'm saying?
Man, honestly, bro, it was more so just like, you know, understanding like truly what life is. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like, I be feeling like it's still like a burden on my back at times because God just be trying to see what I can do with the least, you know what I'm saying, sometimes. And, you know, he gives me more and more, but then again, you have more and more to do, more and more people to take care of.
That's a fact.
And he only gonna bless you with more, the more that you even show that you still want that, you know, responsibility. A lot of people don't want that responsibility. They just want to win. They just want to be cracking. They want to come to the show with the lights out. They not ready to perform in front of 15 people.
Or set the stage up.
Exactly. they want niggas, they want all these A&Rs at the show. They want it to be the line around the block. Like, my nigga, like, hey, bro, everybody that has that, either nigga, like, they got lucky, or nigga, they had to put in real fucking hours for that. You know what I'm saying? So that's the thing, is like, with me, I don't want them losses to not be acknowledged, my nigga. At the end of the day, if I didn't, you know, take all them losses, I wouldn't know how to become myself and become a brand in his own self. You're gonna have to lose money. You're gonna have, you know, shit, sometimes where you make shit that doesn't sell. You're gonna have times where you make songs that people don't like it. You know what I'm saying? And that's just becoming, honestly, truly even a better individual, a better artist, a better owner, and everything, because you know actually what the people are wanting from you. You know what I'm saying? So
it strengthens you. And the biggest thing he just said was everybody wants the line around the corner, the A&Rs there, but you gotta earn it.
Earn that shit.
And sometimes you're gonna have to do some things. Like I said, bro, you might have to set the stage up.
Yeah.
You might have to decorate the entire room yourself.
Yeah.
That's all a part of the process.
Yeah.
When it all comes full circle, you earn that. And shout out to you for that. That roll with the winners listening party was off the chain. It was a packed house.
Yeah.
Shout out to Cypress Marino, Catch 22.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Doing big things. Now 2022, you promising us more projects.
Oh yeah.
You know what I'm saying? You were the headliner at Los Globos in February.
Yeah.
And like I said, he promising us 3 to 5 projects this year. I hope you do that. I want that. I want 3 to 5 of Niko G4 this year.
That's a bet.
I want that.
That's a bet.
So okay, you were speaking on being consistent and things like that. So when you got to put together 3 to 5 projects, is this going to come from music that you already had, or is this going to be all brand new, something that you cooking up this year?
All brand new.
Okay.
I'm already working on the EP right now.
Okay.
You know what I'm saying? And I plan on putting it out in the next month or two. So
cool.
I'm trying to do it, you know, quarterly.
Okay.
Quarterly.
Gotcha.
So like, you know, right top of the quarter, first 3-4 months, then the next 3-4 months, do another one, next 3-4 months, and then end out the year with another one.
Okay.
So I just want to put it all together to where it actually makes sense and everything. And honestly, not all of them might not just be Niko G4 projects. It might be a collab project.
Cool.
It might be, you know, all of that. But I just want to put out the work this year, and I'm not playing around with none of that, because honestly, you know, it's now that you're getting bigger as an artist, as myself, like I'm seeing what the people truly want from me, you know, and honestly, as an artist too, it's never a bad thing to keep it going, regardless if it's just like a 3-pack of singles. Everything don't gotta be the winner's tape or pLAYER4ever. And that was the whole thing, to where I had to understand that too. Like I was always trying to outdo the next album. Like, you know, like sometimes people just want a good playlist of music from you. You know, with a couple records they could just fuck with. Everything don't always have to be broken down into a whole like mentality of like, why'd you do this? Why'd you do that? Sometimes you might have just a good blend of music. And you curate your own playlist. That's what an EP is, in my own sense. Yeah. You know, it might be a feel. You might have a moment to where, you know, like, oh, I want to base this project off of this moment, you know, or this or that, whatever. So for me, it's like it's just putting together shit for my fans to appreciate, because really, it's all about the streams. And you know, nowadays, like, you know, it's not like people are buying our projects. The more music that you got out, the more revenue that's coming in, as far as like people streaming. And I want my fans to just be totally locked in and just having Niko G4 on a playlist all day, every day.
That's right.
And if my catalog is big enough for that, then I know that I can do that. The more that, you know, I don't grow my catalog, is the more that they go listen to other artists.
Right.
You know what I'm
they
saying?
can fade away from that.
Exactly.
So that's a beautiful thing that, you know, you definitely doing that, because constant, man. People want to constantly hear more. You know
constant
what I'm saying?
repetition.
The last project was cool, but I'm ready for the next. You know what I'm saying? And it's always like that. And also, to speak on something that you had just said, Lord, I forgot it again, but it's all good. Being busy, okay? Because you like the demand is more now.
Yeah.
That's one of the things I learned. Like I've recently like spent the whole weekend with like Sype and all. And I was just 2-3 hours of sleep. Next event, next thing. And it's tiring, but you love it. You love it, and that's what come with the game. You got to understand that. Like they say, if you ask for it, it's going to come to you, but you better be ready to go, because it's going to demand more up out of you. So never forget that. Now watch how I bring this in a circle. Now, from smoking and drinking at 12 years old, beating a trespassing case, from walking away from basketball, rapping because you were bored, recording in the closet, linking with Don Kennedy, traveling to London, seeing Kanye, to headlining shows, keeping it pLAYER4ever. What do you clap it up for when you think about everything you've been through in your life?
Man, I clap it up just for being healthy, being solid, and just knowing that, you know, the people that truly love me appreciate me for the right things and the right reasons, bro. You know, that's what keeps me going, truly. You know what I'm saying? And, you know, honestly, I wouldn't be able to do this without the people that truly love me, my family, my nieces, my nephews, my brothers, my sisters. Them is the people I talk to when shit get really rough. You know what I'm saying? So truly, you know, and just understanding that my fans love me for the right reasons. You know, that's something I could truly clap it up for, because there's so many people that I see, you know, they life for what they got. You know, I'm life for who I am. You know what I'm saying? And what I bring to the game and what I bring to the table, not just for the, you know, like for a good little moment, not for like a couple chains that I didn't put on or whatever, you know what I'm saying? Before I had the change, people gave me love. Before I had the cars, people showed me love, you know what I'm saying? So, you know, that's why I think, you know, I truly appreciate this game as just being organic and truly being a staple in my community. People understanding me, people being like, oh yeah, that's Niko, he went to Fairfax. You know what I'm saying? That's something that you could truly understand, that a lot of them people, you know, that's in the game right now, you ask people about them, like, how so-and-so, they might be like, oh man, fuck that nigga. You know, and plenty of people, you know, they got respect for me, you know, and I think at the end of the day, when it's all over, when I walk away from this shit, that's truly what I want people to have, is true respect for what I did and what I brought to the city, you know what I'm saying? And, you know, just trying to take this shit to the next level. LA, you know, we got so much, you know, we got so much talent here, but we not gonna get there if we not working together, if we not understanding what we can truly do with, you know, our opportunity.
Better together, you know what I'm saying? Better together, and you know, it's a lot of individualism. It's like that, you feel me? But at some point, you know, I would love to see LA all come together, because we also understand, like, LA is in its own way. Right. You feel me? You can be in your own way, definitely.
Oh, definitely.
Believe that. But, you know what I'm saying? Just like that, it's your boy J.Brock, you know what I'm saying? Niko G4, you know what I'm saying? Make sure y'all tune in to the Roll with the Winners tape, and be sure to tune in to everything he got coming this year.
You feel me?
J.Brock, Clap It Up LA, Niko G4, we out. Straight like that. Appreciate you, bro.
Yes, sir.